Question number 3, Councillor Johnson, please read out your question.
Thank you, Chair. The Shaping Care Together programme will result in the closure of Ormskirk Hospital's Children's Emergency Department. This is the most significant decision affecting West Lancashire in a generation. The Health and Audit Services Scrutiny Committee minutes from the 30th of March 26 record that scrutiny of that decision was inadequate. The Joint Health Overview and Scrutiny Committee, established with Sefton to scrutinise this programme, never held a third meeting to consider the decision-making business case on which the Integrated Care Board's decision was based. This council has nonetheless submitted a call into government on the basis that local scrutiny was exhausted. Can the administration explain how local scrutiny has been exhausted when council records say it was inadequate and the Joint Committee never completed its terms of reference? Will they commit today to working with Sefton to reconvene the Joint Committee so that West Lancashire residents receive the scrutiny they were promised?
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Pickup, please respond. Councillor Dalton, please respond.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Johnson, for your question. We all share the concerns over the changes to the hospital in West Lancashire. But the key point is this: the Health and Adult Services Scrutiny Committee did not conclude that scrutiny was satisfactory. Quite the opposite. It concluded that the concerns raised by members had not been properly addressed and that the timetable allowed was insufficient for effective scrutiny, and that significant questions remained at the end of that scrutiny. However, the test is not whether that scrutiny was perfect. The test was whether every reasonable local route had been used before asking the Secretary of State to intervene. The Joint Committee met, evidence was reviewed, concerns were formally submitted to the ICB, recommendations were made, and the ICB nevertheless proceeded with its decision. The Health and Adult Services Scrutiny Committee therefore unanimously agreed that the threshold for the referral was met. We as a Reform Council remain firmly opposed to the poor decision making and will continue to scrutinising of the implementation of this programme. Further scrutiny has already been built into our work programme, and we will continue to hold the NHS to account on behalf of the residents of Lancashire. I would, in a friendly fashion, just ask that Councillor Johnson works closely with us and doesn't use this to score points against Councillor Evans on Facebook, which I don't think particularly.
Stick to the point, Councillor.
I am very happy to take this offline and carry on working. We don't have time to discuss in depth here, but scrutiny is continuing, and thankfully Councillor Johnson is a part of that scrutiny. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Johnson, do you have a supplementary?
I do, Chair, if I may. And I don't think I've ever tried to score points off Councillor Evans in relation to this. But in any event, the NHS actually wrote to West Lancashire Borough Council on the 19th of May, stating that formal scrutiny of this decision should be carried out through the Joint Health and Overview and Scrutiny Committee, which it considers the appropriate forum. Can the council commit to reconvening that joint committee, or explain why this council has chosen a different forum from the one the NHS itself says is appropriate?
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Dalton, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor Dalton. Councillor Johnson. The Joint Committee considered the consultation material, the impact assessments, the consultation outcomes, and submitted its formal recommendations and concerns to the ICB. Before the final decision was taken, the committee therefore carried out its scrutiny function and provided its findings and decision-making to the decision-making body. I would say we are still happy to continue that scrutiny, but we can only continue that scrutiny in the Health and Adult Services Scrutiny Committee, which again, as I would say, is Councillor Johnson is a part of. That's where that pressure will be kept on. And again, I'll just reiterate, I am more than happy to work with Councillor Johnson to keep that pressure on where we need to. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Question number 4, Councillor
Excuse
Snow.
me, Chair. Just a point
Please
of
read out your question.